Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I'm back with the another video, my mother part two. Here I have just copied the paragraph from the text, which I would read before I explain. I'll read the whole para. Just follow my lines and follow my pronunciation as well. And then after, uh, we'll repeat every line as I explain. In these circumstances, my mother remained the ideal partner for my father. She saved and understood frugality, yet there was never a trace of irritation or anger in her about the way we lived. Almost daily, not only were many members of the family fed and looked after satisfactorily, but also we usually had umpteen people drop by who would be asked to stay back and eat with us. Now that I think about it, I feel that she cooked and served for as many, if not more, guests as there were members of the household. Yet, this was accepted as normal, and no one really remarked on it or thought much about it. Such was the Indian concept of hospitality once upon a time. Now, getting back to the paragraph, here I'll read the first line again for you. I hope you are following my lines. In these circumstances, my mother remained the ideal partner for my father. Now, as we have seen that Kalam always compliments his parents as they are the complementary personalities to one another. What is Kalam's mother name? If you remember, Ashi Amma. And what is Kalam's father name? Jainulabdin. So they used to complement each other. In what way? They used to share the work of the family. They used to help one each other in everything, and that is what Kalam says that my mother was the ideal partner to my father. Means no one would have been such an ideal person as my mother was, and that shows the bonding between the two persons or the center of the family, that is his mother and father. She saved and understood frugality, yet there was never a trace of irritation or anger in her about the way we lived. Okay, what is other quality Kalam is praising here? Frugality. Frugality in the sense the ability to know how much to be spent and how much to be cut down. So the mother knew the condition and the financially how much of earning was brought to the home by my father, and she used to find out what is important and what is not, and that's where she used to spend money very with thought provoking way. She used to look after the things properly, and she used to make the list of like what is important first, and that's how she used to spend money on everything. And that is what he calls the frugality, the quality of knowing how much to be spent and how much to be spared. And that other quality, Kalam says here that she never showed any kind of irritation or anger on her face. Means she belonged to a family that is Bahadur. The quality was there within her, and she never used to show that irritation or anger on her face regarding the way we lived. She never used to say that to her father, to her husband. Almost daily, not only were many members of the family fed and looked after satisfactorily, but also we usually had umpteen people drop by who would be asked to stay back and eat with us. So, another thing that shows another quality of his mother about her hospitality. So, as we have read that it's a pilgrimage. Rameshwaram is a pilgrimage where the Hindu Muslim in those days used to live together, and during the festival season, festive season, there used to come a number of guests. Umpteen means many. Many people drop by. Drop by means they used to come home to see us, visit us. And you know that our parents never used to say anything, but on the other hand, they used to just invite every guest to their house, and they used to just ask them to stay back with them, and that's how the guests used to come every day, almost every day, more than the family members. Kalam says that his mother used to feed the guests more, so sometimes she had to, or she used to cook double amount of that how much she used to cook every day. And that is what another quality of her, Kalam talks about here. Now that I think about it, I feel that she cooked and served for as many, if not more, guests as there were members of the household. Means what he says here, now that I think about it, I feel that she cooked and served for as many, if not more, guests as there were members of the household. Means the members of the family are already, it's a big number, but along with that, she used to cook for the guests as well. So it was a double work which she used to shoulder without any irritation, without any kind of anger. She was so calm and gentle person that she always used to be ready for the work. Yet this was accepted as normal. Yet this was accepted as normal, and no one really remarked on it or thought much about it. Such was the Indian concept of hospitality once upon a time. What Kalam here says, the thing is that the Indian concept of hospitality, this is the tradition of Indian hospitality. Have you heard this phrase which says Atiti Devo Bhava? Atiti Devo Bhava means what? Like the guests who come to our house should be welcomed wholeheartedly. They are like the God who come to our house in the form of God. So Kalam says that it was a normal thing to see relatives in our house more than the family members. So we never had any doubt or any question on that. Like one or the other day, there used to be number of relatives sometimes in our house more than the family members. So that is where I learned the concept of hospitality. Hospitality, the way you receive the other person is what the great hospitality of Indian culture that we can call it as. In simple way, we can say Atiti Devo Bhava, as it's a line that we read everywhere. So that's what this paragraph talks about. Here are the meanings that I have quoted here. Circumstances means what? A fact or condition connected with or relevant to an event or action. A situation, we can say. Circumstances, the conditions of that particular time, that event is called what? Circumstances. Frugality, the quality of being economical with money or food. Thriftiness, okay. Thriftiness means what? Like some people really spend a lot of money, they don't control themselves, right? So the quality of knowing how much to be spent and how much to be saved is what the quality is called frugality. Satisfactorily in a way that fulfills expectations or needs acceptability. Yes, satisfaction, as you all know, that means the needs, you are happy with that, satisfied, right? Umpteen, many or a lot. Hospitality, just now as I said, hospitality means friendly and generous reception of any member, means how you receive the guest is what the hospitality. Now we say that it is what hospitality. Explanation, just now as I explained, again the same thing I have just written or typed here so that you can note down these things as a notes. So I just read out those lines because it will be again repeated what I explained earlier in the paragraph fourth para. In these circumstances, My mother remained the ideal partner for my father. She saved and understood frugality, yet there was never a trace of irritation or anger in her about the way we lived. In the above lines, Kalam says his mother really was so kind hearted that she used to get adjusted with whatever was earned by his father. Being the manager of the family, she used to know how much amount of money has to be spent on what and where to cut down. Yet she never used to show any sign of anger in her attitude. So that is what Kalam's mother was special for him. He learned all these qualities from his mother. So I would say here that, have you observed all these qualities in your mother too? Just once wonder, yeah, our mothers are also like that, but we never look at the way Kalam looked at his mother. So that is what the difference makes it. When you really listen to your mother's words, or the way you look at your mother really makes you also a great person. Explanation, right? Yet this was, okay, another line from that. Yet this was accepted. Such was the Indian concept of hospitality once upon a time. You might have heard the saying Atiti Devo Bhava. This ritual was practiced at Kalam's house, as he says, more than the family members. Sometimes it's the guests whom his mother used to feed. Meanings of the fifth paragraph. Okay, these meanings are from fifth paragraph. Aromatic, having a pleasant and distinctive smell. Aroma, as we say. Aromatic, having a pleasant and distinctive smell. Pickles, a relish consisting of vegetables or fruit preserved in vinegar or brine. Pickles, I believe you all know that, you love them, right? I too love that. Staple means regular or in large quantities. Staple means something which is regularly taken. Staple food. Okay. Deceptively, misleading impression. Tart, sour taste. Spicy, okay, I just spicy, something which means very hot, spicy. Delicately, just you can write down, I just forgot to type, I believe. Spicy, very hot and tasty. Delicately, tender, gentle, you can say. Anecdote, a story from life which is related to real life. A story, a short story, an episode of real life incident. Anecdote. Now the fifth paragraph. Mine was a happy, secure childhood. One of my earliest memories is of eating with my mother, sitting on the kitchen floor. We ate off banana leaves, rice, aromatic sambar, homemade pickles, and coconut chutney were the staple foods. Her cooking was deceptively simple, and till today I have not eaten sambar that balances the tart and the spicy tastes as delicately as hers did. It is again in connection with food that another anecdote from my childhood comes to me. Now, here you can see mine was a happy, secure childhood. Now, what Kalam says here, that though I belong to a middle class family, I was having a happy and secure childhood. What is a happy and secure childhood from Kalam's point of view? He was happy with the way he was brought up. He was happy the way he was given the things. Like he was served with the basic needs, that is food, shelter, and clothes, and there was no such shortage of all these basic needs. So he says that he calls it as it's a secure childhood. It was a secure childhood. One of my earliest memories is of eating with my mother sitting on the kitchen floor. So here Kalam is recalling one of his incident that really happened with him as a kid, that one day he remembers that I was sitting with my mother in the on the kitchen floor, where I just sat beside her and used to sit beside her as I was young in the family. So I used to get that affection from my mother too, or I used to sit beside her, being the youngest in the family, and on the kitchen floor. We ate off banana leaves. So as banana leaves were used as plates, like you can say here. So they used to use banana leaves for serving the food. And what is the regular food? Rice, aromatic sambar, homemade pickles, and coconut chutney. So these are the regular food items that Kalam used to get, or his mother used to serve him on what? Banana leaves. So rice, of course, southern part you will find rice. Aromatic sambar, aromatic, the fragrance of that, like something which really makes you feel hungry, aromatic. Homemade pickles, homemade pickles means prepared by whom? By his mother. Coconut chutney, of course, if you go to southern part of Kerala or Tamil Nadu, where coconut is very famous and they use coconut in every dish. What the staple food means, they use that, like it is a common food which is served every day. Her cooking was deceptively simple until today. Her cooking was deceptively simple until today. I have not eaten sambar that balances the tart and the spicy tastes as delicately as hers did. So her cooking was deceptively simple. Deceptively simple in the sense she used to she used to cook in a simple manner, but still it used to give the taste that no one can replace her. Now who is saying this? Kalam is saying about whose cooking style? His mother's cooking style. So I still remember the taste of her sambar, which actually used to give me that flavor, the tart in the sense, sour taste, like tamarind, or the lemon taste. The taste I never found, or I could really compare that kind of taste anywhere, wherever I went. So still I remember that how she used to cook in a simple manner, but with a delicious aromatic sambar, which I believe no one could really prepare again. So just compare your mother's hands cooked food with any of the restaurant or any of the persons, you will also feel the same thing, that I never tasted I never tasted the food like my mother cooks. We do feel the same, don't we? Yes. uh, it is again in connection with food that another anecdote from my childhood comes to me. So Kalam is very excited to share another anecdote, a short story which is related to real life. Okay, so let's see what he is going to tell us in the next paragraph, and what is that related to his childhood. Now meanings of the, yes, the same paragraph. Mine, my, object pronoun. Secure, safe. Staple, a main or important element of something. Yes. Aromatic, having a pleasant and distinctive smell. Pickles, a relish consisting of vegetables or fruit preserved in vinegar or brine. Pickles, pickles, like we do prepare pickles in our house too. We make of mango pickles, tamarind pickle, tomato pickle, many pickles, right? That is a kind of pickle. Deceptively, misleading impression means you deceive them with the simple style, but it gives excellent taste. So that was the style of his mother's cooking. Tart, sour taste. Sour, have you tasted the tamarind or tomato or orange or lemon? So the taste of that is called sour taste. Okay. Anecdote: a short, amusing, or interesting story about a real incident or person. A short, amusing, or interesting story about a real incident or a person, like the one which he explained the fifth paragraph, and further he adds another anecdote from his life, which is the next para. Now, explanation of the previous para, that is fifth one, I'll just read out because I have explained already, so I'm reading. This is just for the sake of your notes. Kalam was very happy with his life as he recalls it as a secure childhood. He, in this paragraph, is telling us about the food habits at his home. The regular food which was cooked and served was rice, aromatic sambar, homemade pickles, and coconut chutney. He says, I never have tasted such tasty sambar again in my life, which could be compared with the taste of my mother's. Of course, we too really cannot find mothers, cooking the same way. We cannot compare anyone, right? She is the best chef in the world, I believe. Now, sixth paragraph. During World War II years, food was being rationed and there was a general shortage of nearly everything. My mother and grandmother did their best to tide over those days, stretching the supplies as much as they could, cutting out any wastage, often reducing the portions on their plates so that the children had enough to eat. One day, my mother had made chapatis instead of rice. I sat at my place on the floor and ate with relish. As she rolled out one fresh chapati after another, they kept coming and I kept eating. I was a hungry little boy after all. When I had finally had my fill, I picked up my banana leaf plate and walked away to wash up. That night, my elder brother took me aside and scolded me for the first time. How could you be so blind, Abdul? He, sta- he started. He started. At first, I had no idea why I was being pulled up. I stared uncomprehendingly at him. Then he softened and explained. Did you not notice that there was just enough for all of us to eat? 2 to 3 chapatis each. Amma will never say no to you. But because you kept eating, she kept serving you. And tonight she will go hungry because now there is nothing left for her to eat. Okay. I'll go back again to the lines. During the World War II years, it was a World War period, as a period time where India was struggling with economically and politically, and India was under British rule still, or something like that. So during the World Wars itself, not under the British rule, right? Okay, means it was struggling to get that during that period. Okay, sorry. During the World War II years, food was being rationed and there was a general shortage of nearly everything. So as it was the World War II, and there was a shortage of everything in the sense, food was not rationed, like rationed in the sense giving a fixed amount, right? Giving a fixed amount. My mother and grandmother did their best to tide over those days. My mother and grandmother did their best to tide over those days. So during World War itself, there was a shortage of food. There was shortage of earning money. Financially, the family needed the support. So it was the mother and grandmother who really knew where to save the money and where to spend the money. So the home managers, we can call them as the home managers of the family, mother and grandmother, knew how to spend and how to save, and they used to do all those things, stretching the supplies as much as they could, cutting out any wastage, often reducing the portions on their plates so that the children had enough to eat. So, what is the best way that they did? They, whenever they cooked, his mother, what she used to do? She used to give the children first, as they are the growing up in the growing age. So she used to serve the children first, and then after the rest of the family members, and then after they used to take their share. So that is how she used to they used to serve in the family. Yes. One day my mother had made chapatis instead of rice. I sat at my place on the floor and ate with relish as she rolled out one fresh chapati after another. Okay, another anecdote, as I said just now. Anecdote means a real life incident which is moving. So Kalam says here that I still remember another anecdote of my childhood. One day, what his mother prepared? What is a regular food in the previous paragraph we saw? Sambar, rice, coconut chutney. Yes, these were the regular food, right? Now, in this paragraph, what Kalam is saying here that one fine day, my mother, instead of rice, she cooked what? She was rolling chapatis. Okay, chapatis. I hope you know what is chapati. So, as she was preparing chapati, I just went and sat beside her, and as I was very hungry, I washed my hands and sat beside her and went on eating the chapatis. I just loved those chapatis, Kalam says. I sat at my place on the floor and ate with relish, satisfaction, with full satisfaction, as she rolled out one fresh chapati after another. So she was preparing, and I was hungry. I just went and sat beside her and just went on eating all those chapatis. Like, means went on all in the sense, like I just ate as many as I could. They kept coming, I kept eating. Means my mama was preparing. So one, I ate one, two, like three. Just I was hungry. So every day I used to eat rice. So I really was bored, and so I thought, okay, today it's chapati, so let us eat more. And as a young kid, I couldn't understand, and I just went on eating. Who is saying this? Kalam. I was hungry, little boy, after all. I was hungry, little boy, after all. When I had finally had my fill, when I had finally had my fill, I picked up my banana leaf plate and walked away to wash up. When I had finally had my fill, I picked up my banana leaf plate and walked away to wash up. So after eating those chapatis, when I satisfied my tummy, I woke up with the banana leaf and went to wash my hands. Then what happened? Later, that that night, my elder brother, okay, my elder brother took me aside. Okay, my brother was observing all these things, what I was doing. I just came into the house after the school, as my, like, after the tuitions and the classes and all that, and I went and sat beside my mother, and she was rolling those chapatis that day. So instead of rice, I just went on eating that chapatis one after the other. And after that, I just took the banana leaf and went to wash out. Right? Wash out. So my brother was closely observing all these things. Then what happened? What his brother said. See, how could you be so blind? Later that night, okay, later that night, my elder brother, who is that? Elder brother of Kalam, took me aside and scolded. What did he do? He was very angry with me. Okay, he scolded me for the first time, okay, for the first time, he's saying, for the first time, that my brother was angry on me on some reason, and I could not understand why he was angry. What his brother said here, how could you be so blind? Like, don't you observe what mother is doing? Abdul, he started. He started in the sense, he started scolding. He started scolding whom? Kalam. At first, I had no idea why I was being pulled up. I was shocked. I was surprised that why my brother is behaving so weirdly. Like, I was pulled up. I was brought back to, and why I have been asked, like, why he's getting angry on me. I was thinking about that. I stared uncomprehendingly at him. I stared uncomprehendingly, means with a big question mark. I was not able to understand. I was unable to understand that what my brother is saying and why he is scolding me, why he pulled me out, like what he is trying to tell me actually. I didn't do anything wrong. Then why he is getting angry? Then he softened and explained. Okay, then he calmed down himself and said, did you not notice that there was just enough for all of us to eat 2-3 chapatis each? Did you notice that there are only for everyone 2-3 chapatis each, not more than that? Okay, mama knows amma will never cook extra, addition, excess. Yes, and she has prepared less number of chapatis equal for everyone, 3 to 2, 3 to 2, 2 to 3. Amma will never say no to you, but because you kept eating, she kept serving you, and tonight she will go hungry because now there is nothing left for her to eat. Now amma has prepared those chapatis for a change, and she prepared equal number of chapatis for every one of us. How many? 2 to 3 each. Okay, 2 to 3 each member in the family. So, but today what you did, you ate more than that. Now what she is gonna do? She has to compensate that one. Okay, what she will do now? She will cut off her own share. Okay, she will not eat her share, and she will serve other member, because she cannot ask others to stop. No, there are not many chapatis left for me. So she will soon say never no to anyone. So because of you, see how mama will starve today. Meanings: rationed, a fixed amount of commodity. Ration, a fixed amount of commodity. Stretching, pulling. Stretching, pulling. Tide over, support one through a lean or difficult time. Tide over, support one through a lean or difficult time. Relish. Relish means what? Great enjoyment. Stare, look at continuously, uncomprehendingly, without understanding something. Now explanation, just as I have done that, I have written again for notes purpose. Just I'll read them out. In this paragraph, Kalam recalls about the World War II. During that period, there was a shortage of everything, such as food supplies, so the grandmother and mother had to balance in the family. The two ladies in the family always used to cut off their portion so that the other family members could have enough, so that the other family members could have enough. He continues to tell us about a small story of his childhood. He continues to tell us about a small story of his childhood, where he says that one day his mother prepared chapatis instead of rice. Just now, as we have explained, the anecdote from his childhood. As his mother served on banana leaf the chapatis, as he was young and hungry little boy kept on eating. one after the other after filling his tummy. He worked with banana leaf to wash his hands. There his elder brother took Kalam aside and said, "How could you be so blind, Abdul? How could you be so blind, Abdul?" Kalam says he never noticed that mother has prepared only 2 to 3 chapatis each, but out of hunger he ate many, and that will lead his mother go starving without any food, starving. 7th and 8th paragraph now. That moment of shame, of heartbreak for my beloved mother, who looked frail, yet the toughest woman I knew, broke my heart. I cried to myself, too mortified to show my face to anyone, and it was only after a few days that I could bring myself to look her in the face again. What a lesson that was for me to never forget the needs of those around me. Her love drove her to share her food with me without a second thought. And after my brother showed me the truth, I could never again eat without making sure there was enough to go around, especially for my mother and grandmother. I left home fairly early in life as I wanted to pursue my studies in a different larger town. As a result, I could not remain my mother's little boy for too long. Unlike many of my friends, but her generosity and caring spirit stayed in my heart always. Look at the 7th paragraph, what Kalam says here. That moment of shame. What is the moment of shame? That Kalam went on eating those chapatis without noticing. What he did not notice? That there were only 2 to 3 chapatis each of the member. Yes, were prepared by his mother. Of heartbreak. It was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Why heartbroken? Because his mother, beloved mother, okay, who is that beloved mother? Who looked frail, very weak, who looked frail, yet was the toughest woman I knew. Okay, she though did not take her food last night, yet she was the toughest woman. Broke my heart. My heart in the sense means I could not understand that mother really will go on starve, means she won't eat her share just because I ate many. And I was so ashamed, so guilty, so silly to do that. Who felt this? Kalam felt that. Okay, have you ever observed this situation in your life too? That mother prepared something for you and you might have liked it, and without thinking of the other person you finished it off and said, okay, sorry, I ate everything. But have you ever noticed, like, did you really share that food with your brother, sister, or your mother? Of course not. We don't even think of that. We simply just feel like, okay, I'm satisfied, I'm happy, I'm content. So that feeling should not be there in a person. That's what Kalam learned from the anecdote of his life, which is related with what? Chapatis. What? Chapatis. I cried to myself. Means within, the tears were rolling. I was so sad. Like, how could I do that? Too mortified, shameful. Means shameful in the sense I couldn't look into the eyes of my mother. That how could I face her? Because last night she didn't eat anything, and today again, the next day she woke up early in the morning to serve, to prepare everything for everyone. Too mortified to show my face to anyone. And it was only after a few days that I could bring myself to look her in the face again. After many days, I just was able to look at her, because I felt so guilty of that incident in my life that made me think a lot. I learned on that day that first you need to see others' needs, fulfill others' needs, and then look at your own need. And that is the best lesson Kalam really says. I learned from whom? From my mother, that is his own mother. What a lesson that was for me to never forget the needs of those around me. What a lesson that was for me to never forget the needs of those around me. Yeah, that's what, like when you are in a group of people or with someone, you need to know others needs as well. You simply cannot say that okay, I am satisfied, I am happy, that's it. You have to share, you have to think of the other person as well. Her love drove to her love drove her to share her food with me without a second thought. Means she did not think of a single minute like okay, what I'll eat if I give my share to my kid. See, that is what the sacrifice a mother does in a family. Have you ever noticed? Yeah, this time just look, observe what your mother does. That is she taking her food properly? Don't think that okay, I didn't eat. Think whether your mother is eating it properly or not. Just once have a look at that and think about the way Kalam did for his mother. Her love drove her to share her food with me without a second thought. And after my brother showed me the truth, I could never again eat without making sure there was enough to go around. Yes? So she used to make sure, he then after really made sure that in the family, especially it's the mother and grandmother first eat, and then I used to take my share. So that small incident in his life, made him realize that what I should do. I must not eat just for my sake. I just need to, look at others' needs too, especially for my mother and grandmother. The 8th paragraph now. I left home fairly early in life. Yes, I left home for further studies. Now, as you all are planning to come to university now, after school, you have to pack your bags and come to school, to the university. Okay, because you're growing. You want to fly high with colorful wings and to make your dreams come true. The dreams which were dreamt by your parents. So the same way Kalam had many dreams in his life that he wanted to move further. He wanted to achieve something. For whom? For his family, for his parents, especially for his mother. So he just wanted to leave something, for achieving that. I wanted to pursue my studies in a different larger town. I wanted to pursue my studies in a different larger town. As a result, I could not remain my mother's little boy for too long. So, as I grown up, I really had to, get separated. I had to get separated from whom? From my mother. Now, you can relate this situation with you now. As you till now were with your parents, with your mother, with your father, with your siblings, with your brother, sister, whoever in the house. Now you will be getting separated. For what reason? To make some achieving something. Okay, making a great achievement in your life. Yes. So that's what Kalam actually was dreaming, and he wanted to do that in his life too. And that's how he says, as a young kid, I didn't remain. Like I just had to leave my mother for a period of time, and I went for further things. But her generosity, yes, but her generosity and caring spirit stayed in my heart always. But still, wherever I went, wherever I studied, wherever I stood, the heart which was given to me was by my mother. The generosity, the hospitality, the piousness, every quality that my mother possesses, I just held it in my heart and carried that heart to the place wherever I went. So this is what Kalam says here in this paragraph, where he learned all these things from his mother. Okay, so again I'll say that just these are all the qualities that we find in every mother in the family. The thing is that we don't understand, we don't look at, we don't observe those things. That's what. Meanings of the para: frail, weak and delicate, mortified, cause someone to feel very embarrassed or ashamed. Fairly, actually, generosity, the quality of being kind and generous. Spirit, you can say, like a person who is not visible. You can simply say ghost, not exactly ghost here. The person who is there, omnipresent spirit. Explanation of the same paragraph now. As Kalam continues to say that when he woke up, he saw his mother's frail face and was very unhappy with his behavior last night. Yet she showed her toughness through her personality. She, without delay, woke up early and started doing the works. That's where he realized the true love is being shown by mother. From that day onwards, he made sure that first the two ladies must have their share in the family. Now, ninth paragraph. Again, during World War II years, when I was about 8 years old, I took the job of a newspaper delivery boy. My day began well before dawn. When I had to go for my tuitions, my Quran class as we say, do my newspaper rounds, go to school and then return home well into the evening. When I had to study for the next day, in all this my mother stood by me like a rock. Early in the morning, she would wake up well before me, get the water ready for my bath, and then call me. My mother saw me off and would be waiting for me to come back an hour or two later, when he would have to go with my father to the Arabic school for my Holy Quran lessons. As I went from place to place during the daytime, all I had time for were the meals that would be laid out for me promptly. I knew that many times my mother reduced her own share so that I could have enough. When I once questioned her, she only smiled and said, "You are a growing child. You have so much to do all throughout the day. This is what mothers look out for. Don't worry about me. In the evenings, when I returned home hungry and tired, she would again help me clean up and prepare for the next day." Now, looking back again to the first line of the paragraph, again during World War II years. Okay, this was a period or phase where World War II was going on. When I was about 8 years old. How old Kalam was? Just 8 years old. I took the job of a newspaper delivery boy. So why Kalam might have taken the job of newspaper delivery boy? To support his father financially. My day began well before dawn. So I used to wake up well before dawn. Dawn means before the sun rays falls on the earth is what dawn we call. When I had to go for my tuitions, my Quran class, do my newspaper rounds, go to school and then return home well into the evening. So Kalam used to wake up early in the morning and get ready for what? For delivering the newspapers. He used to get up early. That is not just early, before the dawn, he says, before the sun rays fall on the earth. Go to school and then return home well into the evening. Now go to school and then return home well into the evening. So he used to come back from the school. After completion of the school, he used to come to the house early on the morning, wake up, go for the newspaper rounds, help his father financially, all these things. So how old Kalam was? 8 years old. Now I have a question. Do you remember anything that really you might have done when you were 8 years old in your childhood? Just think for a minute, that what did you do when you were 8 years old? I believe you might have slept soundly, covering your faces without even disturbing anyone. So this is what Kalam was when he used to go for the classes, newspaper rounds, when I had to study for the next day. Okay, sorry. My Quran class, do my newspaper rounds, go to school and then return home well into the evening. When I had to study for the next day, I have to wake up and I have to do the newspaper rounds. I have to prepare everything and I have to do all the things again. And this is what done by me with the help of whom? With the help of my mother. Kalam, gives that credit, that share of comfort, the share of affection which was shown by whom? By his mother. Now, what he says here, when I had to study for the next day, right? In all this, my mother stood by me like a rock. So she was like a rock, Why he compares with her with a rock which is a symbol of strength, strong. So she was like a rock. She used to stand by. Early in the morning, she would wake up well before me. Early in the morning. So even when I used to wake up, by the time itself my mother used to get up to get ready all the things in the get ready everything for me. Yes, and get the water ready for my bath and then call me. Okay, get the water ready and she used to call me. My mother saw me off and would be waiting for me to come back an hour or two later. Okay, so after getting ready for bathing, after getting the water ready, she used to call me. Whom? Kalam. Yes, and she used to do all the things ready, keep ready. Now just see, when I would have call me, right, ready for me to take bath. Now just you can imagine yourself in the situation, like when you are of 8 years, or now also you might your mother might be doing all these things, but you never keep noticing all the things, that she is keeping water ready, she is keeping breakfast ready, she is keeping the books ready, she is keeping everything ready. Still you complain on that this is not ready, this is not that, okay, many things, blah blah. So this is what Kalam really saw, the dedication towards the work, commitment towards the work. From whom he learned that? From his mother. My mother saw me off and would be waiting for me to come back an hour or two later. My mother saw me off and would be waiting for me to come back an hour or later, when I would have to go with my father to Arabic school for my Holy Quran class lessons. So see, along with that, see how the schedule of Kalam was when he was just 8 years old, getting up early, going for newspaper rounds, then after getting ready for the classes of Quran, along with that schooling, everything was there in his everyday routine. The 24 hours that we have in our hands, the same 24 hours were there in Kalam's hands too. So how he used them, how he followed the footsteps of his mother, how he followed the footsteps of his father, and what he achieved is all about the dedication and the commitment. As I went from place to place during the daytime, all I had time for were the meals that would be laid out for me promptly. So I was so busy getting up early, getting ready for schooling, then newspaper, school, then Quran classes, tuitions, all that I used to do every day throughout the day. One thing I remember Kalam says that used to be promptly. Promptly means on time. On time. Promptly on time. What was that? That was the food which was served by his mother. I knew that many times my mother reduced her own share so that I could have enough. I knew that many times my mother reduced her own share so that I could have enough. When I once questioned her, when I once questioned her, she only smiled and said, she only smiled and said, "You are a growing child. You are a growing child. You have so much to do all through the day." Okay. I knew that many a times my mother reduced her own share so that I could have enough. When I questioned her, she only smiled and said, "You are a growing child. You have so much to do all the day." Now, see, as a growing kid, Kalam was helping his father, doing all the classes, going to school, learning everything. So, that was observed by whom? By the mother, by his mother. And Kalam says that my mother used to give me food in time, and she always used to serve me in time, all those things. So that's how that dedication, the love, affection his mother used to show on him. And whenever I questioned her, she used to smile and say, "You are a growing child. You have so much to do all through the day. And you are a growing child. As you are a growing child, you must eat first. You must eat healthy." So these are the instructions which are given by our mother too. If we really recall, our mothers do give us all these instructions. This is what mothers look out for. Don't worry about me. In the evenings, when I return home hungry and tired, she would again help me clean up and prepare for the next day. So this is how Kalam's mother used to be a supportive person in the family, to his mother, to his father, to himself, and to everyone in the family. So she used to run from 24 into 7, we can say 24 into 7. Like every day she used to wake up early before us. She used to get ready water, she used to get ready everything for us, and that's how she used to do all those things, okay, for every one of us. And that is what Kalam's mother's greatness shows, that why Kalam has reached that level today. And it is just because of the preachings and teachings of whose? Kalam's mother, and as well as Kalam's dedication towards the work. So see guys, your mothers also do all these things, but the only thing is that we never notice them. We never think of what she does for us. Just for a minute, just think that isn't our mother equal to Kalam's mother? Isn't our mother doing the same things what Kalam's mother did? Isn't our mother serving you with love and affection? So we also should be like Kalam. We also should be dedicated. We also should think of our family just like Kalam by achieving something great in our lives. And I know that you all have those dreams in your eyes, yes, in your mind, in your heart, that will be achieved by you. The only thing is that you have to show that commitment, love, affection towards your family too. Meanings: dawn before the sunrise, Quran, holy book of Islam. Now here the explanation, I just read out the line simply. He further adds about how he wanted to pursue his studies further. During World War itself, when he was 8 years old, he took up a small job of a newspaper boy. He used to wake up along with his mother and go for newspaper rounds. Whatever the amount was earned by him was a helping hand to his father during the World War period. In this all, it was my mother, who was a great support. Kalam used to attend tuitions and Holy Quran lessons. One thing Kalam says during all this was my mother's cooked food was on time. And he also further adds by saying that my mother used to cut off her share and give me more. She asked why. She simply used to smile and say, "You are a growing child." This is what the true love of a mother, which is unnoticed by the children in every family. Thank you, guys. So this is what I end here the session, and we'll be meeting in again another video where we'll finish the lesson. So go through the video and pen down the notes, okay, the notes which I have prepared and added into the video itself. So make a list of all those points which will be a reference for you for further, which you can note down in your English notes, as I said earlier also. So keep in touch with the videos and do watch them and do prepare, do write down all the notes which are given through, and yeah, read the text. Yes, read the text once and twice and many a times, so that you can relate and understand the lesson properly. Okay, bye bye, see you again in the next video.